I think she hates Victor more.
She used to like me. She's
Not
gonna remember
anymore.
this day forever.
She's definitely going to remember that forever.
She's like, he tricked me.
So for those who are wondering why that just happened, can you tell them what you guys were doing?
I was distracting Aria so she could be blow darted. I was a guinea pig.
Oh, don't mess with that dart.
Now she won't be my friend.
She'll get over it.
Yeah, eventually.
So, good morning, everyone. We have a tiger with a toothache, and Dr. Gingerich is a pet dentist who has come up here with his team to help give her some root canals. He'll be working with Dr. Justin this morning. She was just sedated, so it's probably going to be 15 or 20 minutes. It's not like what you see in on TV where you dart the animal and they go to sleep right away. So while she's heading off to Nighty Night Land, maybe we can go see some of the other cats. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So I probably shouldn't have gone live yet because we just sedated the tiger, who is going to get some major dental work done today. Unfortunately, we can't tell you anything about the tiger yet, but hopefully we will be able to very soon. Sometimes we work with government agencies when they have seized animals from horrible situations, and we provide them with temporary housing and medical care during the lawsuits that follow after someone has badly abused an animal. Sometimes we work with owners who have big cats that they can't take care of. They can't afford the vet care, and we don't want to see cats suffering. And so our vets have been really wonderful in working with people like that. And sometimes it's facilities that maybe have the ability to take care of their animals, but they just don't have good vets available to them because there's just not a whole lot of vets who know a lot about big cats, whereas our vets are specialists in that arena. So in some cases we will help them out in, hey little squirrel, in situations like that. I was hoping, oh, there's a tiger. Yes, we need a tiger. We need to see a tiger. I don't need to see a tiger in her feeding lockout. Everybody will say that's your whole cage, and it's not her whole cage. As you can see, she just walked in, and she was in her roofed section. I got a low network connection. I forgot I'm on Wi-Fi because I was in the hospital. And then all of that space that you see back behind her where the den is, and then all the way out to that bridge across the lake, that's all hers too. Lots of people are asking questions, trying to identify the cat. I can't give you any clues. I'm sorry. I just can't. I got permission to be able to show you guys the dental work this morning because I knew that that would be something you'd be interested in seeing, but it was under the conditions that I not give you any hints or any information as to who she is. So I'm really sorry there. And it would really be helpful if you guys could explain that in the comments as well to newcomers who don't understand what I just got through saying, because as you guys know, on a live feed like this, you get people coming in new all the time throughout the feed, and I'm not going to be able to talk hospital. We're trying to keep it down to the lowest number of people possible in there due to COVID-19, and we want to keep it as quiet in there as possible as well, so that the vets can concentrate on their work. Where'd she go? It's a disappearing tiger. There she is. Oh, good. Randall said he got the camera working. So we always have a live camera in our Windsong Memorial Hospital, so that whenever it's usually on highlights, but if we have a cat in there, then you're so funny. If we have a cat in there, then it goes live so that you guys can actually watch everything that's happening in the room. And so if you go to explore.org/big Cat Rescue. Explore.org/Big Cat Rescue. You'll see 8 of our cameras there. We have one that's in the Winsong Memorial Hospital and one that is in the X-ray room of the Winsong Memorial Hospital. And you guys can watch from that camera, which usually has a much better position on the cat, a much better way of seeing what's going on in the dental work that they'll be doing. There's going to be drills, so if you guys don't like the sound of dentist drills, you're not going to like this much, so you might want to turn your sound down. Good morning, Deb. Hey, Noir. Hi, Paula. Bethany. Looks like the feeders are coming back from breakfast. Was everybody happy to see you guys this morning? You're all happy with their breakfasts?
Happy, yes. Happy eaters. Happy cats.
All right, we'll head back over to the hospital. I think she was darted at 9:18. It's only been 5 minutes, so she's probably not asleep yet. We've had so much trouble from people who saw the Tiger King on Netflix and believed the horrible things that were said about us. And as a result, we have people storming our gates and just constantly harassing and threatening our volunteers. And so we've had to ask for a no trespass order to be put on the property here and the road leading to us. We worked with our neighbors to be able to do that. Oh my goodness, have they taken her inside? No, she's not inside. And so this morning we're looking at having to hire police to actually sit there all day long, maybe even all night long, because of people trying to tear stuff up at our front gates. And it's all because they don't know any better. I've included the link on this post for those who have been misled so that they can find out the truth on their own. I'm going to move back so that I'm not keeping her awake. We'll watch from a distance back here. Thank you for sharing, Belinda.
Ready, and then if you guys need gas, it's in front of the gas station back there. Thank you.
Afton's checking to see whether the tiger is putting her head down yet. One of the things you have to really watch for when you sedate a cat is that they don't bend their neck in such a way that they can't breathe. And that's the most dangerous time of sedating them because they're not quite asleep, and yet you can't really reach in there and grab them and pull them to make them lay flat. So apparently she's asked Dr. Justin to come out and check on the tiger. Looks like she's brought out some tongs. Another thing that can happen when the cat is sedated is they can vomit. It makes them very nauseous. So we don't feed them before they've been sedated to make sure that we reduce that likelihood. But you never know if they've got something left over in their stomach, if they've been chewing on some grass or whatever. Meanwhile, I'm getting a gazillion text messages because I'm in a text group about our IP address and the camera over the Winsong Memorial exam table. So if I accidentally shut this down, I am terribly sorry. It's just I have to keep flicking that off, and I may end up flicking the entire thing off. So it looks like Jamie is going to try and reposition her with that board. Push her back a little bit so that she's got more room to stretch out and breathe. I swear these things just make me so nervous to see such a magnificent animal like that in such a perilous predicament. And yet she's got just a mouthful of horrible rotten teeth, and that's got to be so painful for her. So we want to take care of that and get it to where she can eat comfortably. If you can imagine all of your teeth being broken off and the roots being exposed for God knows how long.
Yeah? Can you switch completely? Switching.
Were you going to pull her back with those tongs? So Afton says she was getting the dart out with the tongs. I wondered what she thought she was going to do with those. I'm going to turn the camera around here. I have my COVID-19 shirt. It says, if you can read this, you are too close, and it has a picture of Amanda Tiger. Isn't that cute? I love it. I think it was on Teespring. Whoops. Just accidentally knocked all the comments off. Oh, geez. Alright. Let's see if I can figure out how I did that. Nope, I don't want to write a comment. I want to see the comments. There we go. The stick that Afton is carrying over there is called a Y stick. See how it looks like a Y? So what we'll do whenever we are taking her out of the transport and putting her onto the exam table is they will lay that Y down over her neck so that if she were to raise up and try to bite the vets or the people that are trying to transport her, it gives them an opportunity to stop her before she can harm someone. It's just so hard to tell when a cat is fully sedated or not. They will look for something called a blink reflex, where they will be tapping around her eyes, and in theory, if the cat is asleep, she's not going to blink when you do that. And they pretty much believe that cats can't fake it, so they use that as their indicator for knowing whether or not she's completely asleep. This is instead of in the video here. Hey, Katie. Usually takes about 20 minutes for a cat to be completely sedated. She was sedated at 9:18 this morning. So it's 9:33. She's probably got about 5 more minutes before they'll think that she's completely asleep. And they like to go light first. They will sedate her with enough drugs to knock her out based on her weight. I don't know if you guys can see that blue. There's like a little elevated area in front of the cage that's blue. That's a scale, so they can roll her up on the scale. We know how much that transport weighs, and then they can subtract the difference and see how much she weighs to know how much drugs to give her. But every cat's different depending on how old they are, their stress level, their personalities. And so based on that, we try to give them just enough to knock them out, not enough to be damaging to them. But sometimes you have to go back and give them more. You can always give more, you just can't take any drugs back once you've already given them. So that's why it is a bit of a effort. The people who are posting the angry faces have been sent here by some troll groups that have raised up in support of Joe Schreibvogel, the person who was convicted for 22 years for trying to hire 2 different people to kill me, and on 17 wildlife trafficking charges that included shooting 5 tigers in the head and illegally selling cubs to people who would use them for pay-to-play ops, where you pay to have your picture made with a cub, and then once they get to be about 12 weeks old, they are often killed by hitting them in the head with a hammer, or some places reportedly use gas chambers. And so they always tell people that when you pay to pet a cub, you are supporting conservation, and it's always a lie. All they are doing is buying cubs from people like Joe and then pimping them out for as long as they can make money off of them, and when they can't anymore, killing them or sending them into just horrible situations. So those people have all decided that Joe is their leader, their king, and they just don't know what kind of a person he is. And so the only thing that they seem to be able to do is to come here and post hateful comments. That's why a lot of your good comments are not showing up right away. We're having to filter the comments because there's just so many of these ignorant people that are being hateful, but we can't stop them from putting the hateful faces. So that's how they are getting their jollies today, is by posting hateful faces. In the link to this today, I posted a link. The easy link to remember is bigcatrescue.org/truth, but that URL will point you to the longer one that's actually in the post, in the text of this post. So it looks like they've decided she's asleep. She's going inside, and we will go inside with her. I'm going to have to be a lot more quiet once we get in here, so I apologize. But I figure you guys would rather see this than hear me talking anyway. You got your work cut out for you today, Dr. Gingerich. That is the worst mouth of teeth I think I've ever seen.
Well, at least it's short.
Yeah. Some benefit in that.
Do you need the mask?
That's my daughter, Jamie. Whoop, here she goes. Let's go take her.
Take breaks off table.
Breaks off.
We're pushing it.
I'm out of the way.
Trying not to get you.
Hey, Afton, would you move that light out of the way of the camera?
She's very twitchy. She was twitchy. She's always that kind.
Watch your head, Justin. You know let Victor come back in? Yeah.
Alright, so I try to get the map.
It needs a haircut. Baby back. It's like good night break.
Can you get me the small anesthesia machine?
Yeah.
Bring it around here. Because she's like, it's big. This is her anytime. I'll mask with that.
And then all your
Yeah, I'll just mask her down with this and then. Because otherwise I gotta switch her around.
You,
Pull the mask off. Oh no, okay. Breathing? Do we have a pulse ox?
blood pressure on her too?
Yeah. Is she taking a breath?
It's hard to tell, but I think that it's very small.
Yeah. It's just kind of a shell.
Yeah.
Slowing down though. Heart rate was rather high when we first came in. How's that look? How's the back now?
Slightly.
It's
Breathing better.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. Really. You remember, take a picture. It's
That thing is $7.95.
oh, it was $800. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. That's how I like it.
It's deaf ears when I'm trying to describe things.
Well, especially anchor. Really? Do we have people to?
Yeah, right here.
So they put her on gas to stabilize her, keep her asleep, and now they're going to put a tube, that long tube, down her throat so that she has gas delivered straight to her airway. But they have to turn her on her back to do that.
And I just elevate it. Just straight shot.
You definitely don't want to do that if they're even partially awake, because that will make them mad. Yeah, that actually is a bucket, and the membrane used across it to hold the gas in is from a waterbed.
Which side do you want?
Doesn't matter.
She was at 70.
Oh, blood pressure.
They always sound like they're snoring with that ventilator.
Do you have any reason we'll come ride?
Yes, if you don't mind grabbing that real quick. Or get someone to grab it.
So as soon as they get the anesthesia gas situated so that she's at the best possible rate for breathing and staying asleep, then he will look in her eyes to see if he sees anything worrisome there, and then Jamie will put some drops in her eyes to keep them from drying out. When the cats are sedated, they go to sleep with their eyes open, so if you can imagine not blinking, what that would be like, what she'd feel like an hour later.
Yeah, because they're going to get worse.
Yeah, you can put it on.
Nope. Nope. Danger. Danger, Bill Robbins.
There you go. We'll fix it right now.
You gotta spread the problem.
And there goes our 360 mount.
That's it.
We usually mount the 360 cameras up there, or the 3D cameras, so that you guys can see video as if you were standing right there with the vets, but it was in the way this morning, so they've taken that down. We are filming, it's just not from as good an angle.
We did take some x-rays.
Jamie's showing Dr. Gingerich the x-rays from the last time that she was here.
Because I think I was looking to see if they needed external.
She had other issues that were far more important to take care of before when we took care of her, and she had to completely heal from all of that before she could have this dental work done.
Tiny little nubs.
And then this is the one.
stable. Now we can breathe.
You want to do my verbal exam?
Yeah. Just get him on board. He's good. One new breath.
Probably just work on one side and then work on the other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would have to be a dorsal to do all four.
What do you think? Do you think that would help? She's pretty stable. She can really go anywhere.
Longer surgeries and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think that's fine. A lot of times it's better for their lungs than being in the lateral.
It's a big blanket.
So, more than
She was little, so she was.
No, it's up to you, man. If you want me to try to do four,
think you did?
awesome. As short as they are,
Yeah, it might be more than that.
my work is definitely lessened. You know, depends how easy I get down on them. But, I mean, the other issue is that does she have other teeth like these incisors?
We could always treat those. If they need extraction or something, I could always do it during the next blood work. It's something simple. It looked like none of the molars were bad, but there were some incisors. But I would say, I'm not going to touch the canine. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think theoretically, I mean, if you can do it. You got 2 hours?
2.5, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We may push it 3 if you do really good.
I think we can do it.
Alright, so let's flip her in dorsal, so like on her back, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll try and do all 4.
So you have to push my way down and then all the way up.
I'll try disconnect her.
Okay.
Alright, you ready?
Do you want the ropes?
Yeah, we might. I mean, the only other option is like towels or something.
Yeah, we have those circle things, the cylinders for the X-ray.
I will need like a table or something to put this on. Yeah.
Did you have something drawn in those 360 strands right here? One of the long needles on it?
Do I have one?
Did you have something drawn into that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Can I just shake the table a little bit?
Yeah.
These wheels a lot. They smell. And then we'll need the ties if we will.
I mean, if she's sitting, you don't need the ties, but
She's.
no. Is the back end staying? No.
We don't have to do them tight, but it'll just help for falling over.
try and use more padding. We'll just have to watch her maybe put that heating gun on top of her.
Yeah, I have one. She was one of two. So I have attention.
Use the table.
Do you want to soap or something like that? And maybe like some towels on top of it, so you can watch it. Like under her elbow, maybe.
How's that looking for you?
Oh, that's fine. Lift her up. Go higher.
Go higher?
Yeah, sure.
For the table?
Yeah.
I got one stand on the time.
We can move this however you want. It just it does a little better.
Yeah, I know you need that. There's support.
Yeah. But I mean, it can be kind of far back.
Yeah.
You know, we can
That's
move
fine.
it around.
So where's the
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like.
Or make it go higher tape, so that way if they do move it, it's in.
Yeah.
Is that higher?
Yeah. We'll put some rollers in that I can use lap sputters if you guys have lap sputters. So the other side is no hair, it looks like you might want to root hair though.
I mean, I'd say just this word the kink, because I'm gonna have to see her again
Yeah.
for Clover.
Got it.
If she has any thyroid issues, we'll be deal with that for a while. Looks painful. Was it painful? Sure.
We can start to talk about glass and shit. That's what we're doing.
Fresh.
Table cold, so just put it in.
And then tiger piles.
Did you find those? Yeah, I put, over there. Yeah, just move around a lot too much.
So do I understand that the Explorer camera is working?
Let's get a probe, turn it off probe.
Yeah.
Dirty probe.
Since that is live, I'm going to go ahead and step outside.
Like, you know, probe in the pockets.
We want to have as few people in there as possible. So there, I'm seeing that the Explorer camera is now live, the one that's right above her. And so if you guys want to continue watching, go to Big Camera and you'll be able to continue watching. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone who donated. I see that you've donated $709, and that's about 2/3 of what it costs for us to have Dr. Gingerich's. And so thank you very much for helping out with that. Whenever we take in situations like this, even when the cats are not our cats, we end up paying the bills. So thank you so much for doing that, and for everybody who's been helping here in the comments, and all of you who have been helping us deal with the trolls. I really, really appreciate it. I know how hard it is to deal with ignorant people day in and day out that just do not care about the facts. So thank you so much for helping with that as well. Love you guys. Bye-bye.